Hello and welcome to this second video in the series introducing the Preston School portal and outlining its key features. In this second video we're going to be taking a more in-depth look at the student profile. The student profile is the application that allows you to see the really personal information about your son or daughter above that which you'll see on the home page of the portal. Now, the student profile is available whether you're logged into the family portal or logged in as a student to the student version of the portal. So I'm starting off here logged into the student portal, but this will be pretty much the same if you're logged into the family version. So we're looking for the profile button on the right hand side of the page, and that tells us we can use it to view our assessment, behaviour, timetable information and more. If you click onto the student profile button, that will load up the student profile homepage. Now normally you will see the name of the student listed here, a photo, and you'll have the ability to switch between any children attached to you in the school in the top right hand corner. Now for this video those bits have been disabled, but if you had more than one child with us, you could click up into the menu here and switch between them fairly quickly. So as I say, this is the home page. In the top left-hand corner, we have got the ability to switch between the different subjects. Some of the information we'll be looking at over the next couple of minutes is quite specific depending on which subject is selected. On the left-hand side of the page, we've got the main navigation menu. If you're using a mobile, that might be sort of minimized by default. So you're going to be looking for this sort of three-line button, and when you click that, the menu will appear. We've got biology selected at the moment, so all of the subject-specific information relates to the biology lesson that this student is part of. In the middle, we've got the teacher name and the email address. That is a clickable link, so if you ever needed to contact a teacher of your son or daughter, you can select the subject here, and you'll be given then a direct email address straight to the teacher. We can see the projected grade and the target grade. Those are always end of year grades, so don't worry if at the start of the year your son or daughter is slightly below those target grades. They should be looking at those towards the end of the year or key stage that they are within. We've then got some behaviour information for this year and then for the whole time that your son or daughter has been with us. The green is the positive events and any red then indicates negative events. And we can look at those in more detail using the pages down the side. Next, we'll find some information around their grading. So the light blue is their projected grade, or where we think they will be at the end of the year, and the dark blue is their target grade, or where we would hope they would be by the end of that year. So as that's a projection, we'd want those grades to be fairly on the line, although like I say, at the beginning of the year there is always time to catch up on any slight dips that might exist there. Now again, it might be that you wanted to have a discussion with a teacher around a particular grade. So if, for example, maths was an issue here, I could scroll to the top, switch to the maths page, and I'd then be loaded up the maths teacher's details in the middle box here. Underneath that, you will find the engagement and learning scores. So that is a score in terms of how well your son or daughter engages with their lessons. A 3 is the best score here, and a 1 is the lowest score there. And again, those will colour code green, orange, and red. Finally, from time to time, we take some assessments around our knowledge builders. Our knowledge builders are our nightly homework tasks where students memorise and learn key terminology that will be really important when it comes to GCSE time. We test their knowledge from time to time, and their most recent scores are shown on this page, and that will show you the 20 most recent assessments that they've undertaken. So the homepage really is an overview, and we can then drill down into more detail on the left-hand side. So achievements are what we call our positive rewards, things like our merits that we give out for positive work in school. When we click the achievements page, we'll be loaded up then a more detailed overview of the merits that each student has been awarded. Now this year we've changed our merits so they focus around the Preston enterprise skills, and there is a separate video available around those. But this is showing each of the merits that each student has been rewarded and when they have shown off the Preston enterprise skills, and there are 5 of those available. This graph will show you the subjects, and underneath that you can break down and view any comments and which staff member has logged each of those rewards. So these rewards are logged by staff whenever a student does something really positive, really good, and we can see there that a number have been from AM time, but also biology, maths, geography as well. Below that, you can see the achievements for the whole time your son or daughter has been with us, and this will take them right back to year 7, and you'll be able to view those as they go up through the school. Attendance is the attendance information. This will show you towards the top the attendance for the current year in terms of the percentage and then any authorised and unauthorised absences. You'll then see a graph for their historic attendance. Now that historic attendance always resets to 100% each September. So we can see that these points here have been from the most recent September. So each student will always start on 100% and their attendance could then drop down from that September. Now again, that will go back their whole time with us. So while students in the older years will only go back the 1st of January 2021, if you're joining us in year 7, that will track your attendance over the whole time you are then with us. Families, you can then look at the sort of day-by-day breakdown of marks, and if you were sort of querying any of these unauthorised and authorised absences, you can take a look at exactly where they've appeared using a full breakdown of every day below that. On the next page, we can view any behaviour events. So while achievements are the very positive rewards, behaviour is logs for the more negative behavioural issues. Towards the top of the page, you will see any behaviour events for the year so far. We can see that this student hasn't got any of those yet. Underneath that, you can then see a breakdown of behaviour events across the whole time with us. And again, that will show you any issues there in terms of homework, chattiness in class, engagement in learning, and those sorts of things. Some of those will have a comment. You may find that the comment is not always provided for those more negative parts there. Although again, you can contact any of the teachers using the email address on the home page. Engagement in learning is the score that we give 3 or 4 times a year for the students' engagement in lessons. And this is, are they trying their hardest? Are they engaging with class discussion? Are they focusing well? And as I said at the start, this is a score out of 3. So we can see this student is doing really well. They've got a 3 in every subject, but it may be that at parents' evening, the teacher may discuss with you any grades that aren't a 3 in terms of that engagement. Homework will show a slightly more detailed overview of the homework that's been set via Google Classroom. Now this will show you how many homeworks have been submitted online. It's really important to note that we don't expect all of our homeworks to be submitted online, and therefore some of these values may be concerningly low. That's really not a problem. In the various lockdown periods, we did ask for the work to be submitted online, but that's not something we do in a normal school year. So you'll be able to see all of the homework tasks that are currently outstanding and whether they've been submitted or not. Now, like I say, don't be concerned if the tasks aren't always submitted online, but it would be really great for families to check have they been completed in the student's book if not. So I can see for this student, these are the tasks that they have due. We've got a couple there due tomorrow, and then we've got a couple others due next week. You can also go back and view the homeworks for all time, looking at the tasks that have been set during the whole year, for example, and we can see here a range of tasks that have been set for the current academic year. These couple were submitted online, these ones are still outstanding. This is a page that should really allow families to keep track of what homework is due when and help with that organisation of time. At Preston, we utilise something we call learner checklists. This is predominantly utilised in Key Stage 4, although is something we're looking at utilising slightly lower down the school as well. So I'm going to switch to biology here, and what the biology teacher has done is provided the student with a list of key statements that they should understand during their time undertaking biology. Now this shows absolutely everything that they need to know as part of the GCSE course. Over time, students rate their understanding on a 1 to 5 scale, and they can utilise this to help plan their revision and look at any tasks they've perhaps not understood quite as well. So I can see we've got 2 here that are rated as a 0, that shows sort of no understanding at all, and then others that have been rated as a 2 and a 3. That's really important when students get into Key Stage 4 and helps provide them with that big picture. What is everything I need to know, and how can I focus on my revision on just those tasks I'm less sure on? That's also really useful for families in terms of assisting young people with that revision when it comes to Year 11 time. Our mentoring is something that we utilise in Year 11, and you'll be informed if your son or daughter is part of our extended mentoring process. Our reward shop is where students can spend their reward points. So every merit that a student earns gains them a point which can be spent in our reward shop, and that can be thought of as something like £1 in digital currency. When students log in, they'll have the ability to purchase items. So once students get to 20 points, they can pick between a jump the lunch queue, a free ice lolly, free chips, and a free cake from our Snack Shack and Hub. They can save up their points and look for some slightly more exotic prizes, things like a Love to Shop voucher, £10 off a trip, a free Preston hoodie, and eventually £20 off of a prom ticket. Now again, there is a separate video available around our reward shop, and this page is only available when logged in as a student. Finally, the last page will show you the student timetable. Now this loads directly from our MIS, so should always be up to date, and this shows you the timetable for the following 2 weeks. The light blue row shows you today, and this will go live a couple of days before the start of each term. So in the summer holidays, for example, students can log in and look at their timetable for the next academic year to make sure they're prepared for their lessons on the first day back. Again, lots of families find this a really useful page in terms of making sure students have the right book and the right equipment for each day, and that can be downloaded and printed as well to go up on a wall. Hopefully you have found this video useful. As I said at the start, we find and believe that our student profile is a really important application in terms of families supporting their young people, be that with behaviour, attendance, learner checklists, and those more academic outcomes. There should be something there to cater for any real need. As I say, the email addresses for staff are available there, and my details are also on the school website. So if you do have any feedback in terms of the student profile, please don't hesitate to get in touch. Thank you very much for watching.